Welcome to Land of Bet Sports Betting live show with your boy Daft on deck, co-hosting. How you feeling today, man?
I'm somewhat anxious
Yeah,
because sometimes, especially recently when I'm done well, I've looked at the slate, looked at the players, I was like, I know what I'm going to do today. We good here. This one, I didn't have that same feeling. I looked at it and I was like, what the hell is this? So the
what's
thing I
got
didn't
what's got you
like,
tripped up?
there are just so many game time decisions, and they were very important players in almost every single game. So I was like, I
Yeah,
can't look at anything right now.
yeah,
So
for sure. Well, we've gotten
needed to
some
get on here
news.
and get your help.
Yeah, no, you're going to be helping me too. So I've got a couple of things. You've got some bets down on the card already, right?
I've got 2 down at the moment.
Okay, cool. I'm working with a few more. I'm going to start getting them on the bottom line as we kind of go through stuff. So you can start checking that as it's scrolling along. But as you guys are coming in, go ahead and give this video a like. We are going to be helping you out here, hopefully, with these plays through 7 games because we had the Celtics beat the Nuggets, and now we've got the Blazers and the Cavs going without Donnie Mitchell in that one. So we've already got those rolling. I've got Darius Garland going in that Cavs game. Do you have anything in that one?
No, I wanted to get Ty Jerome, but the game started as I was waking up, so I didn't get
Yeah,
time to
right.
put it down.
Right, kind of
But
tough. Yeah, it's a
yeah.
little bit early, but all right. Well, then let's kick it off and let's just get right into to Bulls Pacers, and you can let me know if you've got anything for that, and if not, no worries.
No, I've got nothing. I did consider, I guess, the most obvious plays,
Yeah,
Pascal
same.
Siakam and Miles Turner,
Hmm.
given that Mathurin is out. But let me walk you through why I didn't take it. So I think that's more valuable than the bets that I actually give out, the bets I don't take.
Right.
And my thought process here was no Mathurin. We've seen Pascal and Miles Turner have excellent games. It's only a 3-game sample size. So that's the first flag. It's a very small
Yeah.
sample size without Mathurin.
Yeah.
The other point that I would argue, and I don't know if this is completely accurate just yet, but Mathurin spent a lot of time in this season in the starting lineup. Naismith came back. He's reverted to the bench. So when Mathurin was missing in those games, that's more usage for Pascal. But
Hmm.
if you look at recent time, I don't know how much of their minutes are actually overlapping. So
Hmm.
I can't trust this 3-game sample size, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even
So
though the matchup is great against the Bulls, yada yada yada. So
yeah. I feel you. I feel you on that because I almost went with that something to that degree last game where we had the same play, right? Who are we talking about being out again in this one?
Mathurin,
Yeah, so Benny Matz, yeah, thank you.
yeah,
Jeez, total brain fart. Benny Matz would be more impactful for probably Obi this time at this point, but last game didn't really work out that
mm,
way. He only got 16 minutes. That was my thought process. Was yeah, Neesmith's in there, so he's in the starting lineup. He's not going to necessarily the fact that he's out there means that Benny Matz is impacting people on the bench more, but didn't really hold true for Obi. TJ McConnell did end up playing in that game, so I hate this Pacers team in general.
yeah, with you.
If I was looking at anything, it would be on the other side. And Giddy stuff just has gotten too crazy. But
Yeah.
to be fair, he is averaging 18, 11, and 10. So 18 points, 11 boards, 10 assists in 36 minutes when he's playing without Vooch and Zach LaVine and Ayo Dosunmu this season. And when he's got Kobe White out there with him, same thing. Like nothing goes down. In fact, when Kobe White comes off the floor, it goes up to about 20 points in this number. So it's 20, 11, 10. It's not enough of an edge anymore. We were getting such good numbers here. Anything below like 15.5 and below was great. On the dimes, we were getting 6.5. On the boards, we were getting 7.5. And it's just gone nuclear. It's just gone astronomical. So I can't get there with it anymore at 30, even 33.5. Oh, I guess some people probably bet under 35.5 when it got that high. And now you see it down here at 33 for Gidey. So yeah, man. I mean, he's balling for sure. This is a fine matchup against a fast-paced team that I don't trust their defense still. So you could take it if you want, but this stuff's just gone too high for me. I can't hit that bet and go, yeah, Josh Giddey, this feels right in any way. So any other thoughts on some Bulls? I'm gonna see if there's anything in the comments from you guys too. If you guys are jumping in, checking that stuff out right now. But anything else in your eyes from this one?
Zach Collins been somewhat balling as of late. Matchup is not too bad here
Yeah,
against the
balling.
Pacers, who are going to leak a lot of points around the basket. So
Yeah,
something like Zach, but 15.5, it feels like it's right.
yeah, it's
And
crazy.
again, we're working with a very small sample size. He's had some amazing rebounding games and not so much. Up against the
Yeah,
Pacers, Miles
yeah,
Turner is going to be living on the perimeter. Does that help him?
yeah.
Too much uncertainty. And I've been burnt so many times working with games with three-game sample sizes, and I hate myself every time it loses. So
Yeah.
I've done well to avoid a lot of them today.
Yep, I feel it. So for Zach Collins, like, would you go with the boards? You're saying
No, I'm saying I don't know what I would do. I know
you
he's
don't
going to
even know
be out
which
there
one
on
you'd
the
go with.
floor.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
you.
he'll be out
That's
there.
part of it.
He'll be doing something. I just
Yeah,
don't know what it is and whether the line's a beatable number or not. Like,
right.
even looking at the 4 assists, right? We've got a
Yeah,
2-game sample size of him actually diving up.
right.
And, like,
It's not like you can even like go with the minutes or anything like that and just be like, oh, let's say he's getting 30 minutes. Like he's
yeah.
only done it twice. It's all going to be that level of sample size. So yeah, I'm good on that. I can see where you're at with the assists. Obviously, the potentials are high enough to feel decent. Even, I mean, 3 to get if this is 2.5 or like even anything normal odds -110 maybe, then you go for it. You have value. But at 4 assists for a big man like that against the Pacers, not much there. I'm not sure how they are against the dribble handoff. Real quick, I just want to kind of see. This isn't going to be how he scores anyways. He'd be the one handing it off. So it doesn't really. I mean, I don't even know how much they're going to be running that play. So yeah, I'm good on Zach Collins. Did you think anything about the about Kobe White? Because there was a look for an under. I believe Cody was talking about an under for him, which I'd be with as well.
Yeah, I've tried to catch Kobe with a few unders since the Zach LaVine trade and hasn't necessarily worked out for me. He's hooked
Yeah,
me a couple of times, but yeah, it makes sense. Like, he hasn't stepped up despite all the players moving out. Like, his usage not higher, his volume's not higher.
right.
He's yeah, it's
This is
like
all without Zach LaVine too. I already had that filter up, and they kind of hold that filter. So
yeah.
yeah, yeah, I'm good on that. I think we can come back to this one if we
It's just
want,
the
but
total's 240, right? I don't want to take an under when the total's 240,
right,
knowing that like they're expecting some crazy shit to happen. I just
right.
don't know where it's going to come from. Like, I'm similar to you. I hate betting on this Pacers team.
Yeah, I hate it. I
Yeah.
hate betting on a team of 12 guys all playing 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
just
don't
bet
know
on
which one's gonna
Obi
do
when
it.
Turner is out. Like, that's a
Yeah,
go-to. I'll bet on Obi if Turner's out. I was
yeah,
betting Naismith when his PRA was 13.5, 14.5. Now that's
right.
moved up to 18. So that's untouchable.
Yep.
But yeah, outside of that, I can't touch them. And this Bulls team, like, without Vooch, it's made it a little bit difficult for some reason. I liked having Vooch there. You knew
Mm,
exactly what he was going to do and how he was going to do it.
yeah, that's fair. And now it's just a little bit more helter skelter, and it's like Josh Giddey's world, and
Yeah,
everybody else is just sort of filling in around that, right?
yeah.
Matas, someone that I like to fade too, but to your point, like this isn't a game to start taking unders, but Matas, Kobe White have been two guys that I'm definitely willing to fade since the Zach LaVine trade, and it's become, like we said, Josh Giddey's world. And now Io's, I think, out for the season. Desunmu, that came out this morning. Vooch, we've been waiting for him to get put on the shelf, and now he is. It just apparently means Zach Collins' world instead of Jalen Smith getting any touches, which whatever. Like you said, maybe Collins, but there's not enough data to go. This is how these set of players play together in any way, shape, or form, other than going to Josh Giddey and going like, yeah, his shit just goes sky high as soon as everybody's off the court that normally is out there. But now it's that the books are definitely caught up. So yeah, we can move to Toronto and Orlando. Not the sexiest of games either, but any initial plays in this one?
I'm in the process of potentially locking one down.
Okay.
Looking at Emmanuel quickly to go over 16.5 points.
Yeah, makes
Uh,
sense.
yeah, it's like I find it difficult when IQ, Barrett, and Scotty are playing, but they're
Yeah,
starting to chain some games together now. So things are starting to get a little bit more reliable. He's playing 30 plus minutes every single night.
yeah,
So 30 plus minutes against Orlando. Obviously, the weak point for Orlando is probably the frequency of pull-up attempts they allow.
yeah.
It's not even a weak point, if I'm being honest with you. Like, yeah, so if you look at their pick and roll stuff, they're slightly worse than average. But in
Hmm.
terms of the frequency that they get pick and rolls run on them, they still actually defend them quite well. But in saying that, the way I pictured this for Emmanuel quickly, it's going to be a volume type of game.
Mm.
And he actually had the last game against Orlando was a volume type of game. He scored 11 points, but he was 4 from 17,
Hmm.
1 from 9 from deep. And I watched back some of the video on that, probably 10 minutes to join in the show. And I was like, a lot of these looks are good. He was just ass.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if he sees the volume, then I like his chances to go over. He's going to see the minutes for sure. I looked at games where he takes at least 15 shots.
Hmm.
He's over an 8 out of 10, averages 19.7 points. He's only gone under in 2 games. He was 4 from 15 against the Lakers and 4 from 17 against Orlando. Outside of that,
Hmm.
it's been pretty good. So I'm going to bet on IQ and his volume.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm with it. I mean, he did it too against. Now this stuff's also without RJ. Usually, are you worried about that at all?
No, not at all.
Okay. Not. There's always like one guy missing, but there's always one guy missing for this team. And down the
Yeah,
stretch here, this is with everybody. obviously too. And yeah, I think Pirtle's still being limited minutes wise. Not that would probably even impact him, but it's also a matchup thing, right? Like it's the guy who's taking pull-up shots with the ball in his hands, not the guys who are waiting for spot up against the number one now spot up defense in the league. So that makes a ton of sense
and post the All-Star break, RJ's been there the whole time anyway. And IQ's hit over 15 shots, maybe 5 times.
Yeah. And these last, what is this, like 5 games since the All-Star break, basically?
Yeah.
So 5 games. Looking at the field goal attempts, he's at 16 in the last 5. So you're right that there's that uptick in usage for him for sure. Yep. Yeah. There's no problems with that there. And this game was we never kind of recapped this together because we were on the show together during this February 25th slate of games. They played Boston, and we were both like, yeah, he's not going to get dimes against the 4th best assist. And he's going to and then he just had like 10 assists and 10 points or whatever. Like couldn't score, but kept diming up. He took threes. He was 0 for 6. He just didn't make any of the damn.
But was this the game where KP was a late withdrawal?
No, I don't believe so. That was well, actually, no, I think that was the like more recently within the last couple games in late February. Right. But yeah, he might have been. Honestly, it's happened like 2 or 3 times now, but I don't believe so. Either way, the only thing I was considering here was Wendell Carter on the boards because he's still doing really well.
I consider that too.
I think you lose the edge here at 8.5, right? Like 7.
I thought this might get KP down. Was out in that game. That's where they started Torrey Craig at the center spot because he was a late withdrawal.
And that came out like as the ball was in the air, and we were all watching Torrey Craig there instead of Kristaps. We were like,
yeah. And PB was like, this needs to be investigated. I remember his Twitter post about it. Yeah,
that was nasty. Really? Oh yeah. I remember that PB said that. Yeah, that was nasty. But this Wendell Carter bet. I mean, the thing that I like about it is he's getting more boards when he plays with Fraulo, right? When both of them are out there. And if you make sure that you give him at this point, like if you look at these bunch of recent games, when he's the starter now, right? Basically since the trade deadline, which didn't matter for them, but it was about around that time that he slipped into the starting lineup. Goga was still recovering from that concussion, which he still looks like he's recovering from. Just looks dazed, but like Goga, like follow my finger. It's nasty. But these 5 games, so he's in the starting lineup, 32, 28. I think you put him at about 28, right? At this point, the 20 minutes against the Wizards, they won. He got a technical and they kicked him out, and they were just like, we're done with you for today. Go hit the showers. But then against the Cavs, it was a blowout. Still had the 16 rebound chances in 26 minutes, and then 19 rebound chances in 27 minutes against the Dubs. I also took him over here at 7.5. So you could take this at 8.5, and I wouldn't get mad at anyone. The thing is, he's at about 11 boards per 36, which at 28 minutes comes out to about 8.5 rebounds. Yeah. So I do think he should be projected. Though. What's that?
It's plus money on every brick.
Right, 100%. So if you do think that's an accurate projection and you get plus money, then it is an EV bet for sure, because it should be closer to 50-50 and you're getting plus 114. So I can definitely I can condone a bet on Wendell Carter. I just didn't feel like enough of an edge in this weird game that could be a blowout on the side of the Magic, but their offense is so terrible that it's tough to see that. So I'm not totally sure, but let me just see about the comments. If you had anything else too, feel free to jump in. And if any of this sticks out to you, we can look at it, but we got the Franz Wagner assists. Any thoughts on that?
Didn't come across my radar.
Yeah, it's really juiced. So it's like one of those ones that I was like, I don't really want to have to make this decision.
3.5. Yeah.
It was minus 160. So a little bit of an edge. 4.9 in the season. This is with Paolo though. 3.5 versus 4.9 without, or on the season. So like without Paolo, it's probably like 5.5 assists per game. Yeah, 6.3. So this is a great bet whenever Paolo is out. Without Paolo on the season, 20 games, 18 of them that he went over 3.5. And even 4.5 would have been a good number without Paolo, because he's still at an 18 out of 20 hit rate there with 4.5. But obviously Paolo playing in this game, and he has been the one diming up more than Franz since they've come back here in these last games in February. So yeah, this is not where I'm going for Franz on the assist. It's really, that's up in the air. So I'm gonna pass on that one. Just see if there's anything else. An under for Franz, not against the Raptors. If anything, I actually considered him for the points to an over. With Powell on the season, he's still at 26 a game, and that coincides nice. Like that is matches up with his numbers on court, off court. When you got Franz on court this season with Paolo with him, he's at 26 per 36 minutes. Right. So this is all about you should expect him to get about 26 points. Wasn't worth it for me at like minus 125, and it's starting to jump up to 25.5 everywhere, which is probably what it should be, is about 25.5. So I actually would not be going under on Franz at this point. The boards and the rebounds and assists are at like a total of like 10.5. So not enough there for me to warrant that. But see if we got anything else that you guys are talking about.
We've got a team game total of 209 though. Like, that's my hesitation on betting IQ. Like 209.
Mm-hmm. Even 208
that's
on DK.
So low. What is the playoffs?
Yeah. Magic, I mean, they play as slow as hell. They're like the worst offense and still a good defense, you know?
Yeah. That's my only hesitation betting on this IQ one. But
let's look at the last 15 games for this team. Actually, let me go here. Look at the last 15 games for Orlando, where they rank offensive rating, 4th worst, defensive rating, 10th best. So not amazing, but still 10th best. Did not mean to click on them. And then if you look at pace, Orlando's 3rd slowest, right? And then Toronto's actually been playing slow as hell too. So 23rd in pace there. So yeah, it makes sense that there's going to be fewer possessions. There's definitely unders more playable. So even to J-Main's question a minute ago, this is a PRA look of 34.5 with Paolo. I mean, on the season with Paolo, 38.3 PRA per game. So he's not really the guy I'm looking to fade in this one. There's definitely other guys you can fade. Did you consider your KCP RA under?
I think you have to consider it every time those two boys are playing. Like even the PRA you could take a look at. You can just bet it every single time. It might be not one that I like share as a bet, but if I just use it as an investment and bet it every single time for the next 6 weeks, I think I'll profit by the end of it.
Right.
But whilst I've got the mic, the boys from Props Madness said pick 2 people from the chat and they'll get a free month of Props Madness. So I think we should incentivize the chat by saying put your picks in, but give us a reason why. Don't just put the prop in. Give us a reason why. And if there's 2 that we like and we tell, then you guys win. The first 2 that we like.
So where we see that? Would that come up in a comment?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So pick 2 people from the chat and they get free month of and so how are you setting it up?
I think you put your bet in the chat, but give us a reason why. Don't just put the bet in and get us to figure it out ourselves.
Gotcha.
And if we agree, the first 2 that we agree with, they win the Props Madness free month.
Bet. Yeah, go ahead and throw your best bets in here, but give us enough of a reason that you think it would convince us to take it. It can be as long or as short as you want. If it's too long, our attention span probably won't be able to handle it. But if it's too short, then we probably won't like it. So you got to find that nice sweet spot of words and syllables for us to read. But yeah, I like that. So go ahead and drop your bets in the chat, and we'll be going through those. I'm going to keep an eye on that. You'll keep an eye on that as well, right? So you can see if you like them. All right, we can move from this game. It can be from any game, right?
Yeah,
you're good with any game for these bets. All right, cool. Yeah, throw that stuff in there. I like that. Let's just go ahead and leave it here for now, and you guys can throw that stuff in as a reminder. All right, let's keep it moving then down to Knicks Heat. I do have bets in this game. How about yourself?
Sorry, someone said I look cute, and I lost my train of thought. What did you say? What? Knicks and Heat?
I wouldn't be able to focus either. I get it. I said, do you have any bets in this game?
What am I looking at here? I've got a lean in this game. I probably need your help to decide whether to take or not. I'm looking at the Davion Mitchell matchup. He's going to be all over Jalen Brunson. Nice physical matchup. I'm considering a Brunson under in points.
Okay.
I just wonder if the line's moved. It has. So this was at 25.5 last night when I looked at it. It's at 24.5 everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the line is probably right.
Yeah. So then do you like Davion's stuff because he's guarding? Like, if anything, I'd be like seeing if there's a value on the under. It's minus 175 at 2.5. That's crazy. So no, but like I like to take under for guys who are guarding the guy shooting every time, right? On the rebounds. But did you consider any overs for him?
No, I really was just looking at Brunson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wanted to take an under in his points, but at 24.5, I don't know if I could get there. Right. I was just thinking through like who's going to score on this team. Like I'd say someone like a Mikal Bridges is a great matchup to score, but he's been like inconsistent. Like he used to be so consistent, but post the break, you can't rely on him.
I took Mikal. I took Comrade Mikal. Yeah.
You took him?
Yeah. Comrade Bridges. My buddy calls him Comrade Bridges because his name is Mikal. And I'm like, that's not even Russian. Anyway, Mikal we took for I took over 14.5. Like this is similar to the other day when like Devin Vassell was at like 13.5 points. It's like, guys, I know Devin Vassell sucks. I watch him play as well, but he's better than 12, 13, 14.5 points. He's a 16-point game scorer in a good matchup, I'm going to take him, right? And Mikal didn't even shoot well against this team last time when he went 6 of 16 from the field, but did hit the 4 threes in part because he's the bro taking the corner threes for this team. And that's where Miami consistently is vulnerable because they overpressure the ball. They finally have a good defender at point guard once again, so they can pressure the ball like you were saying with Davion, which is going to force the ball from Brunson into the corners. And that's OG Mikal territory. So either of those guys are fine. But for me, I like Mikal's matchups a little bit better. I mean, at this point, I put him with guys like Duncan, right? Alec Burks. Those are going to be guys trying to guard Mikal, and you're going to, maybe even Tyler Hero, but it's not going to be anybody that you're worried about. It's really just Davion and Bam that you're like, oh, these are good defenders. Everybody else is just kind of whatever. So I did go over on Mikal. It's 14.5. That's it. That's the reason. He's a spot up shooter against a team that he's got a decent history against anyway. So like, I'm going to go for it. I mean, if this is 16.5, I'm out. 15.5, the edge is not quite even there. It's there enough to bet it if you want, but because Mikal's not a guy that's consistent enough and doesn't get to the line enough, right? That's a lot. What we should be talking about too is like, if you're taking a guy for points and you can't really project him to get to the free throw line very much at all, then you really got to hope he shoots well. And I hate taking guys like that. I want you to be able to score in a variety of ways. So I have outs, but that was one bet. And then I did have one more, which was an under for Bam Adebayo.
Scam Adebayo, I call him.
Or scam if you're betting overs. But if you're betting unders, then it's come through for your boy Adebayo. Now look, like 32, and I got this 34.5. I said everybody on the VIP, I made clear I'd play this to 33.5. Always give a playable 2 number for everybody. So this is still a good under at 33.5 if you can play this on a few of these books that are available: MGM, Caesar, Bet365. But this is the number 2 defense limiting rebounds to centers. I don't think Bam sucks, but he needs a lot around him. I just want to make that clear. Like, he's good when he has like 3 other really good 3-point shooters just running circles around him so he can do dribble handoffs and find guys from the high post. And this team is not built for that anymore. They're starting Khalil Ware alongside him, which has just really helped him not have a great offensive game anymore. So I'm happy at the PRA as a whole kit and caboodle there. Under if you can get it at 33.5 or better for Bam out of the Bayou. But any other thoughts on this one? I'm going to start checking out some of these comments too.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments. This is a day where we needed Dave.
God damn it. That's so true.
Curse you, Dave. I support the play on Bam Adebayo, though. I just had a quick look at it. It really checks out for me too. I think Bam Adebayo is one of those guys who went to high school. It's like, I want to make it to the NBA and I want to be the best role player there. Like, he doesn't want anything more than that.
That's fair. That's kind of Jokic too, honestly. Jokic wishes he could just be a role player in the background, but they need him to score.
Yeah.
Like today, which he didn't do. But
I've got nothing more in this game, though.
Okay.
Like, Tyler Hero caught my attention because I know how bad the Knicks are in this pick and roll defense. Tyler Hero cooked them earlier this season. He made 8 3-pointers. But Tyler Hero is one of those guys. It's like, it doesn't matter how easy the matchup is. It doesn't matter that he's going to go over. Like, his hit rate is 50% in good matchups, 50% in bad matchups. So it's not really matchup dependent for Tyler Hero. I think there's something else that I'm missing, whether it be the weather, the day, his menstrual cycle. I don't know what it is. Yeah, but he's a hard person to read.
Have you seen the the meme that's like, hey, the girl from Stranger Things grew up, and then there's just a picture of Tyler Hero who looks like the girl from Stranger Things as an adult? It's so right on, man. It's crazy. Anyway, so I agree with you. You couldn't, if you gave me money and said you can either burn this or bet on Tyler Hero, I'd be like, I'd rather watch the flame than bet on Tyler Hero anymore. So I'm with you on that. All right, let's get out of this one. But if you see anything in the comments, throw them my way because I'm gonna keep rolling. But there's a good amount coming in now. A lot of ant stuff in there for the comments. Quick reminder: we are taking comments for bets with at least a small explanation for the look, and then if you do give us one that we end up betting on, we'll go ahead and get you a free month in Props Madness. We got 2 free months in Props Madness, the platform we're using here, if you guys want to check it out. So definitely drop those comments in there. I'm going to go down and start on OKC and Spurs. I don't have a bet in this one. Do you have a bet in this one?
Yeah, I ran with Isaiah Hartenstein.
Okay.
I took his over 11.5 rebounds at plus money.
It makes total sense.
Yeah. And that was
which one did you take? Sorry.
His boards.
Just the boards?
Yeah, just the boards. I got it like plus 105. So
okay.
I was The odds have only moved slightly. I think it's still playable right now. My thought process here was like his recent form's a little bit ugly, but they're trying to work out how to use Chet and this guy at the same time. Like they
Yeah.
can't figure it out. More recently, they were like, let's put this guy on the bench because
Right.
we don't know what to do with him.
He got
So
hurt too. He got hit in the face, right? He had like the nasal fracture, which made it
yeah,
easy for them, like you said, to be like, put him on the this is a relief for us that we can put him on the bench and don't have to play them together because we haven't figured it out yet, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I'm just rolling with. I'm expecting their rotations to return what they were pre-Chet.
Yeah.
And that's Hardenstein, probably heavy first half minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Probably doesn't play down the stretch given the blowout risk here. 11 and a half boards against this Spurs team that who they have Bismack Biyombo.
Yeah.
Like Spurs have been getting feasted on. So post the Wemby news on the 20th of February,
Yeah.
every center has covered their rebounds line against them. Every single one.
Yeah.
So I thought, let's just roll with the trend here.
Yeah. I like it. I can tell your cohort is in the comments.
Why is that? What are they saying?
You're like just some funny motherfuckers in here. So whenever I can just tell.
He loves the chat.
Yeah. All right. I'm trying to see if I'm gonna start reading some. Do you actually can you just take over on that? Can you find one that you like and then I'll let you take over for a minute and I'll find one that I like. We'll go that route.
Yeah, let me.
So I have a couple of bets I can run through, not necessarily from this game. So I want to do it that route. So keep dropping the stuff in the comments. Daft is going to be pseudo David for a minute, and then he's going to take back over, and I'll become pseudo David for a minute, and we'll pass back. The most important role on this show is producer. We don't have one right now, but all right. Let me get to the game that has just all of the points in it. What's this total up at with New Orleans and Utah? Down to 231. Okay, so people are not liking the over quite as much without the starters. We got everybody out here for this Jazz team. Let me see real quick. It's got it right here. We've got Markkanen, Collins, Sexton, Clarkson, Kessler all out already, and then the usuals. But yeah, all those guys are going to be out. So I think the starting lineup here that we're looking at is like Bryce Sensabaugh, Filipowski, Collier, Kenyon Martin Jr., and then it's everybody here. Keontae as well should be out there. So with all those guys out there, I do like Keontae on the points. What I've already got in my card is I went and took the PRA for Collier at 25.5. I got this at like minus 105. It's still pretty available. Still something I'd be taking. Collier's at 29 PRA per 36 when he's playing without all those guys. And whether you put Keontae George out there or not, doesn't matter. He's got really good numbers. So I would play this up to about 26.5. 25.5 is honestly, I really wouldn't play 26.5. So if you can't get 25.5, I wouldn't play it. I really wouldn't. The numbers that I had were like, you don't have an edge at 26.5. And I'm like, I can't even tell you to play that. I do think he's good for like 29 in this game, but he's probably going to play 32 minutes. So do with that what you will. But the Collier over here, going to go back to him. No reason not to love it. And I actually didn't play this yet, and I was still waiting to see if I get it 5.5. Was our boy? They're keeping this right at plus money for us, just nice and juicy 6.5 rebounds for Kelly O. Did you hit that at all or anything in this game?
No, I looked at it the same. I would have loved it at 5.5, at 6.5. I couldn't get there.
I understand.
Utah probably going to be running some smaller lineups as well. So I'm like, do the Pelicans stay with this Zion at the 3 business? Like, right. I get it. It's working for them. But they did have matchups against the Suns, who also run 2 bigs. Like, I don't know what the rotation is going to look like. Is Kelly going to get the time? So ultimately, didn't touch it.
Yeah, I think they're going to run it the same, but I don't know. You're right. Like, there's just too much unknown with this Pelly's team. So I'm good on that. The only
the Pellies also have a lot of depth at the guard spot too. So I'm thinking, how do they get Jose, Bruce Brown, CJ? Yeah. Like, a lot of their best players off the bench are guards.
Yeah.
So
that would be in the feather in the cap of Kelly getting a few more minutes. Or you're saying that
they're going to go small ball 5.
Yeah, they'll go small with Zion at the small ball 5. And yeah, Eve Missy has played about the same amount of minutes, or is he he's getting a few more than Kelly when he's playing with Zion. So yeah, it's tough. There's just a little bit more unknown there. Did anything stick out to you in the comments so far?
Well, I got one bet on this, and it stuck out in the comments because I already took it. And it was just on Jordan Hawkins.
Okay.
So my initial look was to take Jordan Hawkins over 9.5 points, which has now moved to 10.5. But at 9.5, the odds weren't great anyway.
Yeah.
I pivoted to 12.5 points and rebounds because.
Which bet is that? Sorry,
Jordan Hawkins.
Oh yeah,
over
for
his
Hawkins.
points and
Okay.
rebounds.
Still in this game.
12.5.
Okay.
I think everybody's going to be betting on CJ today, and I get it. He's smoked the Jazz already this season. His matchup is fantastic, yada, yada,
Yeah.
yada. But he's shooting like shit lately. Jordan Hawkins is not. Jordan Hawkins has the exact same matchup, just in less minutes, and he comes in this game with better form. He's also performed well against Utah, and his games with Zion, when he plays more than 20 minutes, delicious. That's all I could say. So the matchup is great. Zion there helps, and I'm just rolling with it. Rolling with a hot hand.
With Zion, 20+ minutes?
Yeah.
Let's get back to the minutes.
It's either 20+ minutes or teams in the bottom half of the league in points allowed to transition, actually. Yeah. Points allowed in transition, my bad.
Points allowed in transition.
Is
with
DPT.
Zion. And he does a little bit better with Zion in general. Let me see.
Yeah.
And he's getting most of his points in transition?
Yeah.
Wow.
Transition and above the break shooting. So
got it.
The Jazz allow the most points in transition, and they allow the most points above the break. And his volume's been good. He's only a 30% shooter, though, so you could be a victim of variance. But also, if there's a blowout, then I think Hawkins plays, CJ doesn't. So
yeah.
Who's
blowing out who in this game?
Hopefully, there's a lot of blowing, but the Pels have been good with Zion. The way they've been playing big, they've actually been pretty good.
Yeah, they played the Spurs with those that 3-man lineup, or the 3 big lineup, like you said. Let me see real quick. So it was these games, and then against the Suns as well, they won by 8, who were probably worse than the Spurs. So yeah, to your point, those games are working out for them with the bigs there. I do
7.5 point spread too. So I think Utah will play everyone who they're supposed to. I don't think anyone gets their minutes cut if there's a blowout. They'll just play them anyway.
Right.
But for the Pelicans team, I don't know if CJ gets a full run if they're up by 10, 15 with 6 minutes to go.
So that was one that you saw that someone put out there, but it's or one that you already have, right?
Yes.
So you can't use that one.
Okay.
Okay.
What else? So we'd have to jump from game to game there, because obviously people don't put this thing in order.
Right.
So let's jump to Ant Edwards.
Okay.
Let's jump into Ant.
Did someone with a specific comment about Ant stick out to you?
I just noticed there's a lot. So as we sift through Ant Edwards, I'll say who's got the best comment about it.
Okay.
I wish we could control F this comment section though.
I know that would be so much better. There was a way, but once again, I don't have live show producer David has all the tips and tricks, but there was a way to get these all into one spot. Anyway, the Ant stuff is just like, this defense is terrible. This Phoenix defense, we're already looking at it. I mean, it's horrible. The last 15 games, it is the worst in the league. With a bullet, 120.7. Actually, look at these 3 teams right here, all playing each other. Like, we just had Suns Pellies, now we got Jazz Pellies. It's just like, yippee, 260 points per game. So we got that. The pace is at 100, so they're still pretty good up there in terms of Phoenix. So they're still going to be a good amount of possessions. They're 15th in pace, but 100 is a decent pace. The offensive rating for this team should be better, but it's middle of the pack. So yeah, they're horrible. I mean, rebound percentage, where are they at? 5th, 6th worst in terms of rebound percentage. They are the worst defense. There's a lot of points available. So if Ant has a good history against them, at least started to last year in the playoffs. This game, I didn't see much about. He played 39 minutes in the first one. I didn't look back at this one quite as much. And there were nobody was missing in that one. And we should have some Julius Randle back in this one. Still going to have White Dante on a minutes restriction. He's coming back from suspension. If you want to talk about any kind of sort of individual motivation to be good, kind of a soft suspension, just based on the fact that the technical was him kind of throwing the ball sort of throwing the ball in the stands. I don't know. But yeah, I was looking at him at 26.5 and still think it's a good play there. But if you're at 27.5, I'm like, fuck it, 30 plus, I guess. It's just, I end up staying away with all the weirdness around his stuff and guys coming back and all the rest. But
yeah, there's a lot of weird parts around it. Like, I think the look is pretty much coming back from suspension in a great matchup, Phoenix at ass, and his affinity for Kevin Durant. That's going to motivate him. Right. So tying all that back, then yeah, it makes sense. But for me, there's a lot of reasons why I wouldn't. I don't know what the hell Julius Randle's going to do.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
So, like, I have no idea. But hopefully it's a high scoring game and Phoenix continue to suck, and then it's a shootout. Then Anthony Edwards is going to be your guy. So
yep, if that's the case, then Ant's your guy. And then it's just, I mean, you got Julius Randle at 15.5, and you have Nas at 19.5, and you got DDV at 13. It's just, I know there's gonna be a lot of points in this game, but all of these things are high for like all of these guys right now with how many minutes we could even potentially project for them. So like if Terrence Shannon was in there, have you seen him play?
Oh yeah,
Terrence Shannon.
Yeah, I'm an idiot though. I've seen him play, and I'm an idiot because I bet on Nikhil Alexander-Walker instead of him. Like I was tossing them
Last
up,
game.
and I was like, Nor's at least proven to perform when Ant's not there. 2-game sample size.
Yep.
Stupid.
But both are stupid. Like, yeah, but
Yeah.
like the fact that it went that way is still stupid. But Terrence Shannon is a baller. Like I watched him at Illinois, he can hoop for sure. So like there's gonna be dudes he can still take to the rim in the NBA. But then now his points are probably, or his minutes rather, are kind of gone. So yeah, I'm not gonna end up on it. But
can we jump to LeBron?
Yeah.
One comment here caught my attention. I have LeBron. It's from Ultimate X. He said, I had LeBron James hitting his over in points tonight for 50K. For his 50K. I think that's 50,000 career points, including playoffs, perhaps. I don't know. But he's also on a heater. Problem is he's questionable. But LeBron's been questionable for 3 years.
Can you pull up comments real quick?
I can't, no.
Oh, okay. That sucks. Keep going.
So that's the only call. LeBron James score points against the Clippers. I know historically he's always scored quite well against them. He always switches on against the Clippers.
Mm.
So the volume's usually there, but at 26.5,
yeah,
it's pretty sharp. But
that's
Luke is a game time decision too, I assume.
Right. That's why I haven't even looked at this one yet. Is both of those two key players are questionable, so not much.
But
I feel
Austin
like
Reeves is out, so
and Reeves is doubtful.
automatically
He might be
if
officially
LeBron
out. Right?
James is doing heavy lifting, right?
Gotcha.
So
yeah,
I think that makes sense. If Austin Reeves ain't there, who's going to? Yeah,
did he officially get ruled out?
Dominating the rock.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody's going to take the ball out of his hands. He's doubtful anyway, so he's probably not going to play.
Oh, he's doubtful.
Yeah, or he's officially. Yeah, he's not out yet, but he probably is not going to play. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. So if LeBron plays, I like the over, but
not enough to make this one of the comments.
Sorry,
this isn't one of the comments that you're choosing though.
Yeah, this is one of the fuck it, because we're probably going to forget to finish this, but in the next 20 minutes, we got to give one out.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So if you have one, let's run with it.
Yeah, Ultimate X. That's our first winner. Okay. I like the LeBron look, and LeBron with a milestone hanging over his head. Nothing beats him. Nothing beats LeBron chasing a number.
It's true. when LeBron is motivated, that's a good player to be betting on.
Yeah.
All right, give that you'll handle that with Pips. Get Ultimate X. I believe that's my guy.
I put it in our private chat anyway, so we can. And he's one of your members, I think.
Yeah, he's my guy.
He's your guy.
Cool. Yeah, Chris and I just met the other day on for one of our one-on-ones in the VIP, which is dope. Yeah. All right, cool. We got one, and it is LeBron over 26.5 points.
Yeah.
Okay. Aggressive. I like it. Daft's picking that one. I might be coming right back to my guy. I just saw one for, let's see. Yeah. I think it was the double-double for Filipowski. And I'm looking, I think a couple people said that one. And I want to, hang on. Let me find, goddamn, we got a lot of comments now. Whose idea was this? Got hard. Where did my flip one go? We gonna find it. Nope. Palaces. I'm gonna find it.
Comment. Bam Adebayo is gonna go off, and Cat, he's soft as fuck.
Hey, bro, I do not disagree with the reasoning that you're using for your bet there. That's beautiful. So Kiwana says, flip double-double. When it happened last, Kyle had a double-double too. Biggest Jazz player against the best matchup. Hell's almost said, it's true that they do that. Flip is at about 8.5 boards per 36 when he's playing without Kessler. If you think he's going to get like 30 minutes, it does look good for him. I'll go back to that one real quick. It does look
good for him. Matchup to score too.
On him. What's that?
He's got a good matchup to score. Point.
Yeah. Points, rebounds are at 9.5 is the thing. So the key here is no Kessler, and really like no John Collins, or at least like no. It was Kessler and where's our boy who's no longer on the team? Drew Eubanks there. Drew U. So this is kind of the best that I can do to sort of recreate this game is no Kessler, no Eubanks, because he really is the only center at this point. That's it. That's all I have to work with. And he did get 29 and then an OT game for 37 and 36 against Portland here like a week ago or so. So he's good, and he's good enough to do all this stuff. His assists are actually still decent enough in terms of the value on them as well, like adding them to the points or to the rebounds. So I thought about something like points and assists. The biggest, sort of value or difference here would be 17.7 points in this situation. It's really just about like, are you giving him minutes? So let's say we give him tonight like 28 as his floor because they don't have another center. It's good. It's just not like bang on. It's like three double-digit rebounding games when he has the minutes. So it's there. There's something there. And I thought about PRA, but like when I saw 26.5 for this dude, and I'm like, that's like he averages, like I said, when he's on the floor without those guys that are going to be out tonight, and you do like on-off stuff, he's still at about like 22 or whatever it was. Like it's 20, like it's not 26, it's like 24 PRA, and that's in 36 minutes of floor time that I can't guarantee that he's going to get. So,
quick question: are these guys confirmed out, or is it they're all confirmed out?
Wicked out, yeah.
Oh, it's just RotoWire's playing mind games on me. It still has them as game time decisions, and Clarkson's the only one that's out. But is that
RotoWire's stupid? I'm going to believe the NBA injury report.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to do.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking RotoWire. I tell people this all the time. RotoWire is helpful for who's starting. Like they can project starters decently well. Not great, but decently well. That's about it. I would not be using their projections for minutes or anything like that. But now obviously they don't even know who's in. That's weird. Let's see if I can find anything else too. We got one more. We got the LeBron over.
I like this flip look though. I don't mind it.
Right? There's something there.
Something there.
What is it? Is it just points?
I think it could be points.
Yeah.
Could be. I've got to go back to see. Did Bol have some strong games? I'd say his comp is offensively Bol-like in terms of a spot up big.
Yeah.
But he doesn't show up as similar types of players. But I'm assuming Bol did well against the Pelicans.
Well, this is by position specifically. So I think they're calling him like a 4-5.
Yeah.
And stretch shooters, like stretch bigs, are doing well.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Against the Pellies, like everybody does well. You can be whatever type of player you want. We've established that this is the second worst defense or so in the league. So
Bol set that career high in the most recent game, but there was no Zion in that one. And the one prior to that, Bol had 15, Nick Richards had 10. Like they both did quite well.
Yeah.
So I think the bigs angle for Utah is the way, and I'm not betting on Kenyon Martin Jr.
No, you're not. Is it not insulting that Kenyon Martin Jr. has the same points prop line as Isaiah Collier? I guess he's gone up now, but they had the same points prop line for the longest time, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I know. But I think Flip, I'm going to probably target something like that. I like that. That's a good look. I'm going to look into that one.
I know. Flip I still might get a bet on him. I'm trying to see if I can see anything else. So Rockhill's throwing a lot in there. Let's at least bring one up. Heater going to play Bam on Cat. Ware is going to play on Hart and drop coverage. This we saw. That's actually a good point. Is he going to guard Josh Hart? This we saw in previous matches against he had 5 3-point attempts. Okay, Rockhill. Let's go over to Jay Hart. I need him to win me my fantasy league this week. So,
man, Josh Hart is so good. I just can't predict what he's going to do.
I know. And the threes are juiced really shitty. Anybody with so let's see, head to head, he had 2 on 5 attempts. Not a great game against the team, but he had the RA. I was considering his rebounds and assists, but even this is like still pretty high, 14.5, probably about what it should be. Not too high, just accurate. I think that's an interesting look. If the matchup there was Kel'el Ware, then that makes total sense that Kel'el Ware ain't staying with him out on the 3-point line. If he gets 3 3-point attempts in 30 plus minutes over in 35 games this season, he'd allow the 7th most points to spot up shooters. Also, Davion's gonna be Oliver Brunson. Greetings from Safari Bets. It's a pretty good look. I like that.
Yeah, so Safari Bets dropped some free bets in my Discord.
Nice.
One of the fan favorites.
Nice. Do you think he wants Props Madness?
I'd assume he already has it, but a free month.
I was going to say, it sounds like he's doing some pretty good research here, and he's using tools like Props Madness, if not already Props Madness.
But a free month of Props Madness, why the hell not?
That's true. That's a good point. Even if you've already got it, why wouldn't you want the free month? All right, I like it. Maybe Daft is desensitized to your intelligence, but I still think you're smart for that. So I'm gonna give it to you. Let's throw that in there for Rockhill. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there in the little private chat.
Yeah, I had a
All
look
right,
at the
good.
first game where Josh Hart played Miami at the start of the season. Looks like Jovic and Harkes were the key defenders. Ware wasn't even in the lineup at that point. So
But they're both
if we,
out.
yeah, they're both out. So
Yeah.
who's playing that role?
hmm Can you even start Khalil Ware at this point with the way that the Knicks run, cat and four wings?
Yeah, like I don't think there's an advantage for Miami to run him.
Yeah,
It's
you
it's
would
not a
think.
great matchup.
Yeah,
So I don't know. Could you look at Ware unders? Like I don't see the point of having him in this game. Like what is he
right,
going to do?
right. And he didn't play in the game earlier. He was injured still. What are we looking at here for him? 11 and a half. So you can get 12 and a half. The Rebs, are they high? Nice. Those are high. The thing is like he is going to be bigger than anybody guarding him unless they until they get Precious on the court. Mitch Robb is playing, I believe, again, right?
He was likely to play, I
Yeah,
believe.
I don't think he's on here.
It's this man. This sports betting stuff is so interesting because you can target this information in so many angles, right? It's like
Yeah.
Where under points because how's he going to? But he is bigger, so he could get boards. But if he's bigger, that means we're going to see more Precious time. And Precious been balling, like.
Yeah.
But Mitch Robinson is back. Like this is such an intricate thing we're working with, and I'm like,
This sports betting thing. Yeah. I like how it's literally your career at this point. You're like, this fucking thing is hard, man. Yeah, no shit, man. Maybe you should have quit your other job. That was probably easier.
Because you're going to look like a genius, right?
If you take some wear unders.
Fucking idiot. Like it's
some underwear. That's true. But then, yeah, what's a fine line between looking like a fucking idiot and looking like a genius out here, man? Yeah. This dude was playing poker the other night, called this stiff. It was crazy. It was like, is he an idiot or is he brilliant? It's the same. He could be either, and he's playing really well. All right, so let's go to another game. We got 10 minutes. I want to try to get a couple more because we got our winners. We're gonna hit you guys up. We're gonna send your stuff to the folks over at Props Madness. We got your names down. So Ultimatum X and Rock Kill will get you guys those the free month of Props Madness. Did you have anything you want to go towards in this one? Like a game that you're
I don't have any other picks. I really needed to get more down. So the flip angle was good because I didn't even consider looking at him.
Yeah. I think we still got to consider Keontae points.
Yeah. There's a comment in here around Keontae rebounds and assists too, but I found it difficult to bet on the Jazz because their lineup changes all the time.
Yeah.
And like it requires a lot of work to find a good bet. And on big slates like this, I don't have time to put that work in.
I feel you. Yeah. I feel you. One tool that we can use to just help us real quick. I just want to see it with Keontae on the court. This is, I mean, people drop out of the show like flies when I start bringing up this stuff because they're like, this is Chinese. I don't want to talk about this. But to help out with what you're saying, which is like, there's so many combinations of lineups to look at for the Jazz. This is the only way to do it is not just games with and without this guy. It's just minutes on the floor with and without this guy. So what I was looking at earlier, I just put Collier and Keontae on the courts. Keontae. I hate that they do it by first name too. All right. And then I got to take a whole roster of people off the court. Drew U, Johnny C, Jordan C, Colin Sex, Lowry Makinen, and Walker Kessler. So take all them boys off. Put this into standard stats. So we've got
speed lines. I think speed does well.
Svi Mikhailuk. He comes out there when the thing, by the way, the thing I'm most proud of from last season of doing this is that I can now pronounce Svi Mikhailuk and Sandro Mamu Kalashvili. Got those in the dome off the top every time. Keontae, 19 a game, or 19 per 36, about 6 boards and 2.7 dimes. The boards had my attention for sure. But yeah, I knew they were going to do this. It's going to make it 3.5 minus 140. But I think 3.5 is a look. Like I do think he's going to play like another 32, 33 minutes. I think he might start, but they've been bringing him off the bench. Not that it really matters because he'll still get the minutes and be there in the end. So I think Keontae, like points are pretty dumb high at 20 for him. Not a very good shooter. Just want to make that clear too. So this is too much. But yeah, I get why you would go right to the RA. And in reality, like I like the rebounds more than anything. So that's where I'd be playing Keontae if I was going to do anything with him. Would you consider Sensabaugh as a spot up shooter?
I did. He was probably one of the players I did consider, but then I was like, his minutes aren't great. Even with all these people going, he still only plays like 20, 25 minutes.
Can't trust him. That's right.
Is he overweight or something? Like
No, he just can't do anything but shoot. He's like 6'9". He's a big-bodied shooter. And you look at him and you're like, could you go get some rebounds? You look like Tarzan. You play like Jane. Like, go into the paint. You are so big. Why are you allergic to the painted area? So, yeah, that's the problem with him. He cannot dribble. Like, cannot dribble. But you give him the ball with an ounce, like a half a inch of space, and that thing's going in. So that's why he's out there. Yeah.
Could be a recipient of some Collier dimes.
Mm-hmm. He should be in the corner. Yep, for sure. Yeah. So that'll be.
Yeah, I don't have much luck with spot up shooters. So
yeah, no doubt. Me neither, man. So I don't bet that stuff. Was there anything else that I was considering? Yeah, I do have. Let me see. Hold on. I had a couple of leans that I can at least see. If anything sticks out in the comments to you, obviously throw that out there. And you land. Are you going to bet on Ant?
I don't think so. It's a little bit too high, and there's just too many different factors right now. Like, because I know so many reasons why it can't hit, I don't want to take it. Because if it loses, I'm going to have to do my stream tomorrow. I'm like, here's an update. I took Ant over, and it didn't happen because Randall decided to take 18 shots today. Nas Reed forgot that Randall was back, and he also took 18 shots. Like, I'm going to be just confessing that I'm a freaking idiot. So
you don't want to have to do that?
No, I don't. I do that too often. Wow. Like, I'm trying. The whole point of me recapping and being so critical of myself is so I learn from my mistakes and I don't make them again. Yeah. So, like, if I already know that's how the recap's going to go if I lose, I'm not doing it. So I'm staying the hell away.
That's why I don't. That's why sometimes it just comes down to like, look, man, this might be a good play, but I'm not betting on Tobias Harris. It's just that simple. I'm just not betting on Toby Harris because then I'm going to have to come back and go, I know I should be staying away from Tobias Harris, but I bet on him because and it's like whatever. But I can already tell you guys I'm going to have to do that for tomorrow's episode with Darius Garland. I'll have to go back and look at this. I guess 2 for 13, but maybe it's just Portland's guard defense really is that good right now because Portland is like shutting down a lot of good players. Like they just shut down Collier before. And now they're really closing down on, I guess that's I'm going to look at the matchup, but it's probably Tumani. I didn't think they would put Tumani on Darius Garland, but Tumani is a like all NBA defender. I don't know which team, but he's
Nicholas Batum's been reborn.
Yeah. All said.
I looked at Darius Garland as well, but I was like, yeah, I get the pick and roll stuff, but if they're not allowing any points above the break, like they're going to force Darius Garland to the rim, and good luck to him down there.
I guess he's got a floater game, but that's why he's 2 for 13.
He's 1 from 8 from inside.
Yeah, I was going to say he's 2 for 13 because he's missing from inside. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm glad that was another one that I'm glad that I avoided. Even Evan Mobley, like so many people were telling me that I'm a fool for not even looking at it. And I was like, his volume isn't much higher when Donovan Mitchell's there. Right. He still only takes 12 shots a game.
Right.
The sample size you're looking at, he shot 75% from the field.
Yeah. But Darius Garland does. Darius Garland's averaging 42 PRA per 36 minutes when he's not when Donovan's off floor. Yeah. In the 3 games he's played without him, he's averaging 42. So it all kind of just added up to like when I see the numbers for a guy on court without Donovan Mitchell, and then I see the games that he's played fully without Donovan Mitchell, and those numbers are aligned. I'm like, okay, this is probably reliable data. And then
but it makes sense. He's coming through. Like you can clearly see he's got the ball a lot. The volume is there.
Totally.
The Cavs aren't making shots, and he's not making shots. Like, that's your variance.
One more sneaky thing. I think this holds true, but Jared Allen is actually the guy that actually seems to do better with and without Donnie, and without Donovan Mitchell this season. I know last year that was the case. This season is just 3 games, but I mean, 2 more points, 4 more rebounds, all without Donovan Mitchell. I think this was the case last season too. So I'm just trying to like I'm basically doing the beginning of my next show, which is like, let's talk about why Darius Garland fucked me. So 2 more points per game, 1 more board. Like he does better without Donnie for sure. And it makes sense for everybody. There's a ton of touches and like usage and rebound, everything for available once Donnie's out. So somebody's got to pick it up. But all right. Anything else? Because I do want to like try to see if there's. I don't know if I'm be able to get anything else from this slate that I'm trying to dig out. But
can you just tell me what your thoughts are on Zubac? Because the last game against the Lakers, I didn't bet it, but I would have assumed he would have struggled, and he fucking ate them alive.
He kills them. He still hates them for letting him go. He hates them. Versus Lakers last 10 games. Let's see. So these are all in the Clippers. Let's go back to the most recent ones. Like, yeah, there's a couple duds in here, 8, 7, 6, but for the most part, he's getting double digits and double.
This is your bitch or beast look. Like,
yeah,
that's
right.
where we're at now with Zubac. Like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, do I take him for 20 points and 13 rebounds in one parlay, and then I just take both unders for another
20 and 13.
Yeah, like I think
because that's what Bet365 offers, the weird like 13, 7, 10, 13, right?
Yeah. Or I could look at like FanDuel and do 12 or 14.
Right.
But my thought process here is like, I don't know if he gets, he's going to obliterate this line or he's not going to get close to it.
Yeah. So 3 games, the 10 points, they lost by 25. So he played 28 minutes, didn't do shit. But 38 minutes. Do you care that Norm's back? Because Norm missed the last game.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't really make a call on it. Like, if anything, what I'm thinking of right now, and I haven't looked at numbers, I'm just considering betting on Zubac assists. He got none in the last game against the Lakers, 5 potentials. Norm, he runs a ton of handoff action with Norm. And after having such a big game against the Lakers, surely there's some sort of pivot and they get the ball out of his hands. So I'm considering that. The odds for it are pretty good. The 2.5 are pretty good.
Yeah. Just trying to see how they are against center assists, if that's a thing for the Lakers.
Then you got to look at what
giving up a good amount of them.
On the season, they're awful, but post the deadline, I'm assuming they've been better.
They've been better at limiting rebounds, but still middle of the pack, limiting the assist to centers. As far as the rebounds, they've been better.
Normally, with bigs, especially post the AD trade, like they've been like double teaming and like sending bodies. Like, we don't want to get dominated down low. They're giving it up to outside shooters. Like, but that last game against the Clippers, it didn't happen. So I feel like it was an outlier, that last game against the Lakers. So I might go all in
on the dime.
Not all in, but I don't think Zubac is as dominant, and he probably dimes up if I'm looking at. That's the way that I'm thinking of it now. But
it makes sense.
The odds for go right to 3+ are going to be great. 365 can let you do that.
And you would just go right to 3+ dimes?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Probably.
I'm thinking of just running a parlay on Zubac. Probably not a straight bet.
Yeah, I see that. I can dig it.
But yeah, how crap is this slate though? So many games, but you're like,
it's Sunday, man.
Like, it's hard to be a degenerate today.
I know it is, especially if you're a degenerate with any sense of what odds mean and what like guys' averages, how they actually play into your model and what you spit out. Like, right? Like, that's what I always tell people is just like, everybody does one thing. They look at the player. Is he good or bad? They look at the matchup. Is that good or bad? And how has he done in his last 5 to 10? And that's what everybody looks at. And that's not how you bet on sports, which is what I try to preach. What I look at is the number is 14.5. Is that a beatable number for this guy for various reasons? End of list. But let's see. We've got Sunday and then tomorrow. We've only got 7 games tomorrow. Dimes. How many? We got Thunder, Heat, Thunder, Blazers, Jazz all on a back-to-back. So who knows when we'll get our lines. But yeah, I'm assuming you're gonna have an episode tonight, right? So that Lord Algorithm blesses ye.
Absolutely. Got to get this new channel rolling. I think I'm at like 8K subs.
Nice. Yeah, make sure you guys are following Daft. I mean, at least some of you are, because you're in here through his channel. So but it's at I Am Daft Previews these days. So
that's who I
am. Bet. All right, cool. We'll be back. Appreciate you jumping on, man. Needed some help today for sure. I will be back tomorrow with the live. I'll be bugging Daft to come on every day he can, as well as Pips, because I see you out there, Pips, and PB, our boy Prop Bomb. So hopefully you guys got something out of this. Go ahead and give this video a like before you dip out. It's much appreciated. We'll be back here this week. I'll have my episode tonight for tomorrow. And until we see you next, happy betting.
Let's go.